Welcome to the Verdin Verdict, where we bring you sports talk on the go. I'm your host, Jacob Verdin, and today we're going to be recapping a great game for LSU, 65-17 against Southern. First time these two teams meet, and man, Southern might not want to come back for a long time. We embarrassed them. LSU really did it all. They came out fast. They came out quick. I like that they got Kayshawn active early. That was one of my three keys from the pregame show. We'll be doing a pregame show for every game, every week, as well as a post-game show. Make sure to subscribe for more. Physical defense, we got 4 fumbles from them. That was huge. Offensive side of things, I think we did it all. I think we touched all of our bases, even without John Emery, even with, last week lingering in the minds of a couple star key players. They left it all out there on the field. You could tell they really were prepared, and they really recalculated themselves from week 1. Offense, rushing, 6.4 yards per carry was the average. Passing, 9.4 yards per reception. I mean, they went out there and they got a first down almost every time they snapped the ball. It was crazy. 230 total rushing yards for LSU, 320 total passing yards. Phenomenal game by Jayden, I believe. 10 out of 11 passing. 137 passing yards, but he passed 12.5 yards on average per completion. That's incredible. Then he got a rushing touchdown. Then he got 3 passing touchdowns. And the 3 passing touchdowns were to Malik, Nabers, Brian Thomas, and Jack Bech. How about that 2021 wide receiver recruiting class going in there and each getting a touchdown when it mattered most? I mean, you saw Jack Bech, there's one on our page. Jack Bech just went out there and balled. Jack Bech is coming off the stress fracture. We were hoping that he was going to be able to get active early and have his reps accumulate. After what he did Saturday night, I believe we're going to see a lot of him in week 3 against Mississippi State. The rushing game looked good too, I believe. Armani Goodwin with the 85-yarder game, 2 touchdowns. We even saw Kayshawn get active early. They gave him a little run early on, 41 yards. Noah Kane with 51 yards total and a rushing touchdown. The running game's looking good. We're going to be seeing John Emery back here. I think he's going to, take over a lot of the running back 1 reps, but this running back room is deep. Wide receiver room is deep, and it looks like we got a solid quarterback. If we can keep this offensive line like it was last night, I think, we're in line to shake this season around. Sure, we lost 1 game early on, but I mean, we got a lot of other teams dropping like flies too. You got A&M losing to Appalachian State. You got Notre Dame losing to Marshall. I mean, look, Alabama almost lost to Texas, so I don't even want to speculate on one loss. I think that LSU showed who they were tonight. I think, it was just week 1. It was just the jitters. It was just a couple unfortunate circumstances, but they went out here and turned over a new leaf, it seemed. It was good to be back in Tiger Stadium. Last time I was in there was around Thanksgiving for that A&M game. Great game, Coach O's last game, but now we're here at Brian Kelly's first game in Tiger Stadium, and man, it was incredible. We had a couple odd things happen. You had a fan randomly get on in the middle of the game and go to the, almost the line of scrimmage and watch a play. He had the best seat in the house for a little bit, and that kind of confused many. But going back to the reception side of things, Kayshawn Boutte tied with a team high with 5 catches. Chris Hilton also had 5 catches as well. Kayshawn with 42 yards, Chris Hilton with 47. Defensive side of things, man, we were without Mason Smith. You seen him on the sideline on crutches. It once again, it's just a toughening or a tough situation, real tough situation. I think that the defenses, they look like they were doing. They were doing pretty good. I think that the defense looked solid. They lost a big leader, but they didn't have B.J. Ojolari as well. They were taking care of him. He has some knee soreness. Ali Gay was out for the first half. So J. Roy was really sitting in the trenches as one of the only veteran leaders in there. You had Mekhi Wingo in there as well. You had Savion Jones. You had Harold Perkins on the side. And they all held their own way. Harold Perkins led the team in tackles at 7. Savion Jones got in there and got a couple tackles in the backfield. It looked like a good game. It looked like that LSU defense was ready. Major Burns almost came up with an interception early on in the beginning. I mean, the first play on special teams on the kickoff, someone gets popped for Southern, loses the ball already, and Sage Ryan recovers. That's one of 4 fumbles Southern gave up. I think, the Southern fans were hyping the game up before, making it seem like there was a contest. Our score prediction was 38-14. We didn't think there was going to be much of a game, but man, 65 points. I wasn't expecting that. We'll talk about the quarterback debate here for a second. Not really a quarterback debate anymore. It looks like the competition has ceased. Garrett Nussmeier had a pretty rough game in week 2. Jayden Daniels has had 2 phenomenal games. I think he's solidified his role as QB1 and as the number 1 quarterback in Baton Rouge. Nussmeier had a couple rough throws, both led to interceptions. They were the only interceptions and only turnovers for the Tigers last night. Nuss scrambling out, kind of forcing something. Maybe he's trying to throw the ball away out of the sack. Who knows? But it just was ill-advised. It just looked bad. It looked rough, But this is just one small step in Nuss's journey. Still a redshirt freshman. Still got his sophomore, junior, and senior season, potentially. I think Nussmeier's grown a lot. I think Nussmeier still has a lot more room to grow. I think this is just, look, Arkansas game looked a little rough at times. The Southern game's no different, but he learned a lot from the Arkansas game. As he said in the interview with us this summer, I couldn't see where this would be any different. It's a tough situation. It hurts to go out there and fail, but at the same time, failure allows you to learn. Failure allows you to adapt, overcome. He's going to be a stronger quarterback because of this. When Nussmeier's time comes, the coaching staff will definitely evaluate some of the good qualities he has, such as being a great teammate. He's sitting there cheering on his boys on the sideline. Great communicator. Seems to hit the books hard. Dude studying film day after the spring game. I mean, he's sitting here as a student of the game 24/7. And he's got great talent. He's got a great arm. He's got a lot of intangible things, I believe. It's just he's still a younger quarterback. And, you're asking a younger guy to play SEC football. Sure, last night wasn't an example of it, but the Arkansas game was. I think it's just going to be about getting him a couple more, live reps, getting him under Jayden Daniels, allowing him to see the process a little bit longer. And then, I think last year was just a little rough year for him. There was a lot of distractions, a lot of rough things, a lot of people dropping like flies. I think this year is going to be a lot more natural and a lot more of what you would expect. A lot more of a not basic, but a lot more of a fundamental approach. Brian Kelly and Joe Sloan and Coach Jim Brock are going to sit there and be hands-on with us, as well as Walker Howard. I mean, look at how much attention they've been given to Walker Howard and how much they've incorporated him into the practices and the reps and I mean, even the spring game. So I couldn't imagine Nussmeier's backup role not increasing. And of course, it will. Also want to talk about the extra points. 9 for 9. 9 for 9 in Saturday. I'm glad we had no missed kicks. A lot of the errors I saw in week 1 look to be erased. LSU's looking promising. We have week 3 to really decide, though. Sure, we had a big 65-point scoring W here in week 2 at home, but week 3 at home against Mississippi State is SEC play. Sure, we get John Emery back, but we know we get Ali Gay, we get B. Judge Lowry. But what is Brian Kelly going to do in an SEC situation? This is his first real test of playing in the SEC West. What are the players going to do? There's a lot of younger guys filling in their roles. But just recapping the experience of being back at Tiger Stadium, it was great. The stadium looked almost packed. It was I don't think it was quite sold out, but it looked good. I can't wait for that Alabama game. That one's definitely going to be deafening. The halftime show with the human jukebox and Golden Band for Tigerland, that was pretty historic to see, pretty great. They had the athletes go out pregame. The 3.0 student athletes are higher, so you got to see some student athlete familiar faces around there as well. That was pretty good. We got some good footage here. You can follow us on social media, Verdin Verdict on TikTok, on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, all that, and we'll keep posting this sideline footage or student section footage. We'll be giving up live updates, Brian Kelly press conferences, pregame, postgames. We do it all on the Verdin Verdict. Make sure to follow so you never miss another upload. Thank you.